Hello everybody, welcome to the White Tiger Tarot. Thank you so much for being with me here today. Today's pick a card is how your reality is shifting. So all about this reality shift that is occurring in your life, in your world, within you, how it's going to affect your inner world and also how it's going to affect your outer world. All right, so we have pile number 1 here with keeping still. We have the second pile, which is the marrying maiden. We have the third pile, which is the revolution card, and the fourth pile, which is the taming power of the small. All right, so as always on this channel, we allow spirit to completely guide us, start to finish, customized by spirit. No two piles are alike. I do not pre-plan or pre-pick any pile. Spirit guides me from beginning to end to completely customize each message for you and your situation. All right, so I will see you guys in your pile and we'll get going. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is your reality shift. So how your reality is shifting. All right, so we're going to hop right in. You guys were attracted to number 52, keeping still. It says meditation, self-renewal, composure, detachment, self-acceptance, equanimity, serenity. You guys were actually the only pile who got 2 cards. Okay, your second card is the creative. So it's the active yang principle, strength, tenacity, dynamism, inspiration, heaven, masculinity, authority, the father. Okay, so we have very much, like we have 2 mountains here and then we have 2 fire here. Very much like stillness, like very opposite energies. There's like complete stillness and then complete action, like total action, totally masculine fire, movement forward, progress. And then there's also this very much solid, still, you know, more in the receptive mode, in the allowing. So we have kind of 2 very opposite energies here, which I'm curious is how this is going to play out. I wonder if this is you're leaving one reality for another, where you're kind of coming out of a still energy of doing a lot of the inner work, doing a lot of meditation, a lot of self-reflection, self-learning, and then entering a new space of action, of creativity, of movement forward, of progress, of growth, of expansion. And in some, this could be opposite energies where you are coming out of this time and into the stillness, into a more peaceful, I want to say rounded time where you've done a lot of the work and now it's time for a little more peace and silence and introspection. All right, we're gonna get your first tarot deck here. Spirit led me here, so okay. What does pile number 1 need to know about this reality shift? Thank you. So we have the 6 of Cups. Reality shift for pile 1. 5 of Swords and Justice. Sorry, I'm just going to move this over here so we can move these up a little bit here. Okay, sorry about that. So what I see here basically is, I like how these two cards came out together. So almost as though you've been in a time of stillness, of, you know, going within and having to do inner work, inner reflection, maybe inner child work, shadow work, kind of allowing memories of the past, things of the past, relationships and things that happened within those relationships, within those connections, and within our world, you know, prior to this point. Okay, we've been in this time of stillness, okay, so that we could clear all of it out, so that we could reflect upon it, look at it, heal it, love it, let it go. And so what you're now moving into is a time of creativity, is a time where you are in the creator's position, okay, and where you are going to now be able to take a new path, a path of light. It's like you have been born anew, you are renewed, okay, feeling anew, cracking open, and the balance is here now. And I think it's a total swap of energy. Like, it's crazy that these two are both, you know, they're both double of one energy, right? So it's like completely swapping one energy for another. So that reality that you're entering is you stepping through into your power and leaving behind something of the past, going down a new path. A new path is now opened up for you, a new portal, a new reality for you to step through, in which you have a hand at this creation, where you are in the power seat of what comes through and what happens. And it's because you are seeing things in a new way. You are seeing things differently than you have in the past, than maybe other people around you, because you are born anew. This gives me a lot of hermit energy. It's like your time to come down off the mountain is here. All right, it's time for you. And it's not to say that you'll never like have introspection again, right? But you are having this renewal of self. You have this new level of self-acceptance, and why everything had to happen, and what happened, and the reasons behind it. I think you're seeing that clearly now. And it's like you're at this new level of peace within yourself. And you've accepted things about your past. Maybe you've accepted things about where you are, who you are, what's happened. You know, maybe things that you have to let go and things you have to cut out. And because of that, you are being born again, you can say. You are being born fresh. And that is opening up this new pathway. We see you walking through this new pathway of light, and no longer choosing the dark tunnel, no longer choosing maybe patterns from the past. So let's say you're no longer choosing, like when something upsets you, right? You choose now to go into stillness, into silence within yourself, instead of maybe, you know, lashing out at someone, instead of maybe, you know, eating unhealthy foods to kind of suppress or hide emotions, certain emotions. It's like you're not turning away anymore. You can face everything as it comes, and you kind of can see the reasons why it's there, and you're choosing new, you're choosing better, and you've been consistently doing that. You're consistently accepting self. You're consistently, you know, choosing good things to do. So yeah, maybe you've been doing really good things for your body, mind, eating better, you know, doing exercises, going for walks, you know, meditating, doing all these things that you know are good for you, and being really disciplined within yourself. And I think you're really stepping up as a parent, as a teacher within your own life, for your own inner child. And you're that being that consistency. You're being the stability that maybe you always wish you had, or you're being consistent for yourself within your own discipline, and you're showing up in certain ways that makes you feel safe and loved and heard, okay, which is beautiful. And so because of that, you are now, look, it's like there's these two mountains here, these two mountains to overcome. And maybe that's what it felt like I have these big mountains to overcome, but you did it, and you sat with it, and you took it step by step, and you overcame. Okay, and you had big mountains to climb. You really had a lot of things to face within self, a lot of transformation, a lot of things to accept and forgive and heal. And now what's happening is we see two circles, an opening. Finally, what was been blocked from you, what's been like a wall to your desire, to your happiness, or to your success, okay, is now come down. You have now climbed the mountain of self, of what was there from the past that was there for you to look at, to love, to accept, to heal, to be with. You know, you did all of the things that made these walls come down. They melted away. And now there is an openness, a doorway left, okay, a valley now that we get to descend upon, which in which we are clear now to create this life, this project, I think it's more than, it's everything, okay? So it's who you are. Now who you are is a pure reflection of creation, okay? And so everything you touch, everything you have a hand in is now your unique signature, without the past traumas or the past stories distorting, okay? So it's pure. And so now you're choosing new, you're choosing better. Now you get to walk down a new path of light and love. You are becoming new. You are new. And so your signature is new. Your success will be new. And it's going to be very much you in its pure sense. You're seeing something with fresh new eyes. Okay? And you are, it's you, by you doing the work, you now get, it's like you get in. And not to make this a competition, although the Five of Swords does talk about that, but you get to see life in a way that others miss, okay? Others don't get to see what you see in the way that you see it, and don't get to have what you have, okay? Because they have not done the work. They have not sat with their own things. They have not overcome their own mountains, but you have put in that work. And because you put in that work, you get the rewards of that work. Okay, so you get to see in new ways. You get to see clearly, see with your eyes wide open. Okay, your eyes are finally becoming unglued. Your third eye is awakening, is opening, and maybe in a deeper sense. This doesn't mean this is your first awakening, okay? This could just be a deeper sense of self. Okay, you're seeing now even deeper, clearer than you ever have, cutting out anything that isn't that. It's like, I'm seeing like laser vision here. It's like you're just getting laser vision of, and the divine is here to give you something of great value, something that maybe you couldn't see before because your vision was distorted by the past or by the voices of other people, by the judgments, whatever it was. But now it's like the prize, or the goal is now come into view in a more clear way, okay? And maybe in ways that you haven't seen before. Maybe there's aspects of this you haven't even known existed, and maybe you weren't ready to. It's like something's getting revealed to you now that you weren't ready to see, you weren't able to see before. Okay. Okay. Wow. Look. So yeah, you weren't able maybe to see this or how it would come about. Okay, but this is why you've been doing all of this work, the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, you're about to enter a new reality where you create your own stability, where you create enormous abundance for yourself. Okay, where you're maybe creating a family, but you have made yourself a very stable place to live and exist for your soul. Okay, you are this stability. You have seen yourself. You have overcome, you know, the greatest. It's facing the dragon that's guarding the gold. And so you've faced your own dragon. You have climbed the tallest mountain in the tallest tower and faced the dragon that was guarding this gold. And now you get to walk into the reality of having this gold, and the gold meaning, yes, physical stability, abundance, and financial prosperity. But this is the gold within yourself. These are all of the wonderful things that you hold. These are your values. These are your principles. These are, you know, showing yourself that you can show up every day, and that you can overcome difficulty, that you can rely upon yourself. Okay. And there is a big creation here of your own that is now yours. Now stepping through into that path, onto that goal, okay, and maybe deepening in that path. But this is the reality that you are about to step into, which is one of great reliability, stability, okay, from something, I believe, of your own creation, which is the best kind there is. Okay, you have had, or you will have, a great hand in making this a reality for yourself. But I don't think this is going to be a hard thing to do. I think it's going to be very easy for you to accomplish, just because it's something that you're very much passionate about. Something you're very much like, you can't not do this, right? So it's either gaining so much more success, and it's going to run much more smoothly, but you are being gifted something. Okay, and maybe you're being gifted something for some, like an inheritance, let's say, that allows you to create something of great value in your life and of long-lasting success. Okay, and for others of you, this is you finally getting the go-ahead to act upon something, to start the business, to start this creation in a way that it's like there's no more barriers to overcome. There's no more things, that are going to stop us, or insecurities that hold us back from knowing that we're worth this, from knowing we can have this. And that's why this was here. That's why we had to clear all this, so that we could have this in our lives, so that we could fully achieve this. So this is what you are stepping into, okay? A path of great prosperity. Something that is reliable, something that is going to feed you and your family for a long time. And maybe some of you, this is a family. It is creating that family, okay? Especially with this card, this definitely could be you, you know, having a child, okay? Or starting the family, becoming a mother or father, okay? And it could have all of that imprinted, right? With the hand, it's like, this is your imprinting on the earth. This is your life. This is your legacy that you leave behind. Okay. And look at that. 10 of Swords. And it's like peace. Peace out to the pain. Peace out to the difficulty. Peace out to, you know, you have done, I love how this played out as well. It's like you have really ended a major cycle, a major karmic cycle in your life by, you know, sitting down, sitting with everything that could block anything that was there to, you know, stop you or hinder your life, hinder yourself from achieving this great happiness that is on your heart. Okay, so what we're leaving behind, okay, we have finished a very big karmic cycle in our lives, a very dark and heavy karmic cycle, maybe within a family unit, within relationships, within self, within, you know, all of these things that we were carrying. Maybe this was years and years and years of things that we had to sit with. And now we're accepting self. Now we're accepting our story and why everything had to happen, and why every single harm and pain and mishap or whatever it was had to happen. right? In order to balance us out, in order for us to accept ourselves with all of the pain, with all of the suffering in life that it all carries. It's all part of it. And so we have come into acceptance, we've come into divine balance, and we are now getting to start fresh with the one, right? Now the one, it's an open, completely open pathway, an open portal that you are stepping through. And instead of pain and suffering, that's this path. That's the path that we're no longer walking down. That's the path we're no longer choosing. Now we're choosing light and love. Now we're choosing prosperity and abundance and success and fulfillment and family and unconditional love, right? Now we're seeing self, we're seeing the path forward in a new way with new eyes. And we see our power. We see how much power that we do have within our world, okay? How much we do create our reality. And so now that you see that you create this reality, now you see how much power you have, now it's time for you to create this beautiful world and to leave behind the world of pain and darkness and suffering, okay, and heavy attachment. And it's time for us to open up and to invite in the prosperity. So beautiful. I mean, this is stunning, stunning work, energy. I love it, Pile One. And congratulations for all of this hard work that you've put in within yourself, within your vibration, within your thoughts, clearing and accepting and loving. I mean, this is it, right? This is the work. And now, I mean, look at this. You're creating a beautiful life for yourself. And this is the new reality that is shifting into your world now. All right. And yeah, wow. I mean, what else could you ask for? And it's those things where you can be proud because you, using your own two hands, have made this happen for yourself, right? Whether that's energetically or whether that's, you know, physically or both, right? It's like you have really put in the time and effort and you know, almost like the stubbornness of I'm going to get through this. I'm going to sit with this until it's cleared, until it's gone, because this means so much to me, because my life and my family or this dream means so much to me. And I'm not going to waste it. I'm here for the real. I'm here for the real thing, right? I'm not just here to just get by and to, you know, stay in some victimhood mentality. I'm really here to be a creator of my own life, of my world. Okay, and so beautiful, beautiful. All right, what's up with this Seven of Swords? Seven of Wands. And the Five of Swords, you have it twice. All right, so there's something here. Nine of Pentacles at the bottom. Yeah, this hasn't been an easy road for you. You've maybe had to really cut out a lot of people in your life. A lot of people who didn't see you, didn't see your vision, who didn't understand, you know, why you're meditating all the time, or why you can't, you know, come out. Why have you changed? Why are you different? You know, all of these things, feeling misunderstood, being misunderstood, having people maybe cheat you because maybe you're very kind-hearted and people took advantage of you. Okay, feeling bullied, feeling left out, feeling misunderstood in the deepest sense, but always keeping always knowing a higher truth and always knowing that there's something more out there for you and working towards that. Okay, working past the doubts, working past the, you know, the crappy things that people have done to you. it's using that for fuel. And I think you really did. You really saw the higher reason behind it all. And it's like, yes, they hurt, and yes, they went in, right? It's not like we come out completely unscathed from behaviors like this, from like maybe bullying, from lying, cheating, stealing in whatever ways, you know, that occurs. It's like, sure, you guys can all be against me, and I can feel alone. I can feel isolated, but you know what? I'm making my own company a beautiful place to be. I'm making sure that my company, my energy is beautiful, and I'm okay with being me. I'm okay with sitting with myself and being alone, because my energy is fantastic. Okay, and maybe that's why you were able to go within, because maybe outside of you, it felt like you were always having to defend yourself. It felt like you were always having to come up against, you know, trickiness or lying or cheating or whatever it was, bullying. Okay, competition, where you're like, I'm not in a competition. All right, I'm really not. I'm here to grow. I'm here to learn, and I'm here to, you know, see life in its fullness and see myself in its fullness. And so it's almost like you had to defend who you were, even though you weren't trying to do harm to anybody. You were literally just trying to be yourself, or you know, maybe even just being spiritual within certain communities was difficult, right? You couldn't express what you were doing. You couldn't express the things that you were learning, or the major, you know, things that you were letting go of or overcoming, right, within yourself, or healing from. Maybe, you know, and maybe you were seeing or doing some kind of energy work or healing, right? And you were like doing all of this stuff behind the scenes that maybe a lot of people were like, didn't get it. And you felt just, yeah, like, you're like, well, I have to do this. Like, this is what I have to do, even though I feel like I have to defend every action I take. Okay. I'm going to get a little more clarity here. All right, so we have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you really found the gold within all of this harshness. You found the value. You found what was there for your soul to gain. And we have the Lovers. Yeah. Now your choices going forward are so much more clear to you. And the choices of others were so much more clear to you. Are so much more clear to you. And all of these things that happen are now leading you to your financial prosperity, okay? Because you have whatever things, this could be happened in work. Maybe you were really treated unfairly in work. You didn't get what you deserved maybe in life, maybe through your parents and your relationships, maybe past relationships. Okay, but you really see the higher reason behind it all now. And you really see now going forward that you have new choices to make. And the new choices that you have setting before you are going to lead you into more divine alignment within self and within relationships. Because all of this stuff is now cleared. So let's say you had all of these things that were still there from the past. That would then influence your choices to make worse choices within relationships, even to accept less within another, to accept abuse, to accept talking down to accept, you know, you having to do all of the work, to accept, you know, disrespect from a boss, a partner, a friend, right? It affected so many areas of your life. And now that you've cleared all that, it's allowing you to see clearer. I have two choices here, right? In every situation, there are two choices here for me to make. Which one am I going to do? Am I going to play by the old rules? Am I going to allow things that, you know, I would have prior? Or am I going to take the new path, take my higher path, take the path of self-enlightenment? Am I going to take the path of I am deserving of the highest good, and I am abundant, and I don't deserve less, I deserve the highest treatment? Okay, so it's like new choices are now being cleared. You have really gained the value Okay, you have gained the value of all of these crappy things that have happened. And now you're taking that and you're moving forward, and you have your eyes on the prize. Okay, and it's going to make you financially free. It's going to make you extremely stable because you are stable within yourself. And so what left to do but then reflect that in your outer world? And that's about to happen through your own hands, through your own creation. Okay, your imprint is going to be on everything you do. And now your choices are going to be coming from a different place, a place of self-acceptance and peace, not a place of, oh, I'm not enough. Oh, I deserve less. Oh, they're just being that way because blah, 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 blah. All the excuses we used to give other people for the shitty way in which they treated us. And now you see you're standing in your power. You're seeing what you deserve, which is the absolute highest. And you're like, I'm not accepting less. We're taking new choices. We're going down new routes and new roads. And that's why this reality shift is by your own hand. Okay, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You are not going to be confused or indecisive anymore. You are going to know exactly, this is either yes or it's no. This is either for me or it's not for me. This is either, you know, adding to my life or it's taking away from my life. And guess what? If it's taking away, see you later. Like, no more. And I really feel like this is like no more bullshit, no more self-loathing, no more accepting less. It's gotta go. It's like, nah, no. I don't even have to think twice anymore. I don't feel like this is adding anything. I don't feel like you're adding anything. And if you're not adding in a loving manner, if you're not adding to this love, to this assurance, to this, you know, beautiful reality of sharing and kindness and, you know, growth, expansion. If you're not expanding, you're minus, you're out. Okay? Which is awesome. I love it. I love it. All right. So one last message for my pile ones with this new reality shift. What do they need to know? The offering. Okay, I'm going to read you guys this out of the book. All right. Oh, they want me to take these two. Wow. This is exactly, oh my God. Okay. Okay. We are going to read this out of the book, but quick side message Spirit wanted to give me. This is this exact energy. Okay. This is the be still. Okay. Being still. This is the fire. This is the creation. This is that yang, that masculine action energy. You are coming out, if it's not already clear, you are coming out of time of stagnancy, of stillness, to heal, to look at self in a new way, to look at your situation in a new way, to look at maybe situations around you in a new way. Hey, maybe this isn't so good for me. Hey, maybe they aren't, you know, acting the most honorable way to me, for me. And not to say, you know, but it is like, I think you have been a very self-sacrificing kind of person. I think you have not been treated fairly. Okay. So I can say this and it's okay. All right. So it's like you're seeing everything new and you're seeing what you can accept, what you deserve now, because you've come into divine acceptance. You've come into a new level of self-awareness. Okay. Now it's the time for pure action because now you're ready. Now you're ready to create this in the way that it's meant to be, in its fullness, because you are in your fullness. You are in your self-acceptance of all of your fire and all of your passion, everything that you are, everything that you contain, everything that you can do. Okay, you are so talented. You are so creative. Whatever you put your mind to is going to be a creation, and it's going to bring you gold and success. Okay, you are success. You are this creation. Okay, you can do this. You are stepping into this I can role, this I am the boss role, this, you know, everything I touch is gold role. Okay, this is the reality of self that you are stepping through. The I am. Okay, the I am, all right? And no one can tell me different, and I'm not going to accept less because I am. Okay, and that would be really, that would be a shaming the divine. Okay, this is coming into full self-acceptance and power within self. So good for you. This reality, it's everything you touch is going to be successful. Everything you focus on is going to be the next hot, cool thing. It's like whatever you work on is, people are going to be like, oh my God, that's so amazing. That's so cool, because it's you. It's going to have your signature all over it. And you are unique. You are powerful. Okay. Masterful. All right. So we have the offering. Like I said, right? There's an offering coming in. Okay. Generosity, donation, volunteering. That's the light. When dark, giving with expectations, keeping track. Go deeper. Odin's sacrifice of his eye in Norse mythology. The Hanged Man talks about, in other decks as well, they portray the Hanged Man as Odin, okay, because of his sacrifice, which is the Hanged Man. He hung himself by a tree, got one of his eyes pecked out by a crow, okay, but it represents seeing with beyond the two eyes. It's a sacrifice to see something greater, to see something higher, and that is what you've done. Okay, put yourself in a position of self-reflection, a sacrifice to then, and this is the reward, this is the offering of that sacrifice, because you have offered self, you have offered something, you have sacrificed something in that, and now this is the exchange, and now from that sacrifice, from that offering that you have given the divine, okay, that you have done for self and for the higher good of all by doing this, now you get to step through as this healed, as this powerful extra being that gets this other sight. You get to see in a new way. Okay. The gift, the present, the sacrifice. Unlike many of the other cards in this deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. Action. As you may have guessed, it is time for something to be given and given up for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will, take time to meditate. Take time in meditation to consider what must be offered and who is to receive it. It's likely you'll feel attachment and hesitancy. You'll make excuses, but recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. One leads to the other. When we offer up something to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world. For now, start small. Wow. I love that. If there is a gift you've been thinking of giving someone special, now is the time. Once a week, Gandhi gave up speaking for a day, offering himself to divine silence. The offering can come in all shapes and sizes. So I really feel like your offering, okay, your sacrifice here that you have been given, that you have given, okay, self, you have sacrificed with a time of silence and healing, and maybe you've sacrificed a lot of money in that process, or you've sacrificed relationship, fun, connection, whatever it was. But I think you have now an offering. You have now a fresh slate to now bring that offering to the world. And maybe you have to sacrifice this time of introspection. Maybe that's going to be the hard part for you guys, is to kind of come out now, is to kind of take action, is to put yourself out there, is to start movement, is to start making new choices, and finally maybe reveal something, or reveal yourself, reveal what you've been working on. Okay, there's this shift now, this reality shift of going within, of stagnancy, and now it's almost time to move into action, to put yourself out there, to put this project out there. Okay, it's that, I believe, is the offering. It's like you have something of great value now to give, to share. And so that is now what's opening up, and now that's what you're walking into, and now what you have to embody and become. It's time to show yourself off. It's time to embody everything that you have learned and all of the self-acceptance. And now it's your time to create this thing, create your life, create as the creator, create in this power that you have found within yourself. All right. So pile number one, that was your reading. That was your reality shift. And what a beautiful one it was. I love this so much. Please leave a comment if this resonated. Let me know about your situation. I would love to hear it. And also, if it resonated, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another reading. And if you'd like to know more about your own situation, you can book a personal reading with me down in the description box, or you can book a energy healing with me as well. Otherwise, I will see you in the next reading. Pile 1. All of my love. Peace. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is your reality shift. So how your reality is shifting, in what ways, we're going to take a look. So you guys were attracted to the marrying maiden. It says a compromising situation, subordination, succumbing to seduction, manipulation, and low self-esteem. Okay. So we're going to get some cards here to clarify the energy. But yeah, I really feel like you're coming unchained. You're becoming unblocked from something that may have been holding you back. Maybe something you felt powerless to. Let's see. Pile 2. Their reality shift. How is their reality shifting? Okay. Yeah, 4 of Swords. Stagnancy or stillness. Wow, and 6 of Wands. So you may have felt held back in some kind of way. I want to get some more information here. King of Pentacles. King. Okay, so yeah, it's like something that has kept you feeling constricted, feeling, I think, honestly, the 4 of Wands is making me feel like this is something within yourself. Okay, this is something of your own thoughts. That was making you feel like you were held back in some way. It was like you were holding yourself back. I don't think this was anything outside of you. And I don't know if you were keeping yourself from success, okay? Because we have the 6 of Wands, but you are moving into success. You are moving into recognition. So, sorry, this energy is like a little bit hard for me to grasp here, but we'll get into it. Just be patient with me, but we'll get it. Okay. I don't know if for some of you, it was like having to do with healing a relationship. And but I think it was coming from how you were looking at it or how you were thinking about it. And some of you, it's not going to be a relationship, but it might be like your own prosperity or your own success. Okay, so whatever it was, you were put into a situation of reflection, of maybe of stagnancy, of stuckness, okay, of feeling held back. But it was so that I think you could see self in a new way, so that you could see your own situation and do a lot of the inner work and inner reflection. Okay, and come into your own power or stand in your own power. And and maybe that helps in a relationship. Instead of maybe blaming the other, instead of maybe blaming the energy or blaming the boss or blaming whoever it was was like there was something here that you needed to self-reflect on. And now that you have done that, you are coming, the chains are coming unstuck and the energy is now moving. So the reality that you're shifting into is success and is possibly recognition for a lot of you, or reward, okay, for hard work done, and a lot of stability with the King of Pentacles, okay? Coming into stability, coming into maybe if this was let's say a business, okay, and this time of kind of stillness was there for you to reflect what you can do better, or in what ways are you your thoughts holding you back, in what ways are your beliefs holding you from, you know, smelling the roses, and maybe you were just focusing on the thorns, on the prickles, right? Instead of seeing that it's all encompassed in the situation, in the experience, that, you know, we have to accept all parts of this thing, of self, of the situation, right? That it all comes with both, like, is a time for reflection and there is a time for action and purpose and creation, right? And learning maybe self-discipline, learning, how to discipline in certain ways, learning how to overcome our own maybe blockages, okay, that may have been keeping us from abundance, or keeping us from love, or keeping us from harmony in a certain situation. But we are coming into the reality of success. Okay, I want to get more information. This is so fascinating because it's tricky. Yeah, the low self-esteem is popping out at me. It's almost like maybe you didn't think that you had the power to have this success, or to have recognition, or to step out into the limelight, let's say, or to release an idea, or, you know, to be this thing, right? To have this amount of success or abundance, or to have this position, right? And you had to sit and reflect, and you almost had to be put into this position of reflection, or, you know, meditation and self-learning, so that you would embody and see your power and see everything that you are worth, and just see how much that you do deserve. Okay. Yeah. Knight of Pentacles. The Hermit again. Okay, so you have the Hermit twice. Yeah, and the Six of Pentacles. So yeah, it was almost like things were really slow moving for a while. It was like a lot of slow progress. Maybe things felt like they took a long time. The energy was just, yeah, taking a while. But I think it was for you to overcome low self-esteem, low self-worth, so that you would finally see your true power and who you truly are. And now you're you have come into divine balance of self, and you have seen yourself for all that you are and all that you deserve, in your full beauty and your full power, that you can create this, that you can have this success, that you do deserve it, right? That you know, yourself can create this and have this. And maybe if this is relationship for some, it's like, maybe you felt, oh man, this is going really slowly, or this is not going the way I expected. But whatever it was here for you to go inward. Okay, it was here for you to go inward, to see what you deserve, to see that you deserve to be treated well, and you had to treat yourself well first, because otherwise you're going to accept less from other people, right? So you have to treat yourself best first and foremost, before others can see you and treat you in that same way, because you teach others how to treat you. And so now you're coming out of hermit mode. Now you're coming out of restriction and of being held back, and your progress being held back. and maybe your money being held back, right? And not being in its fullness, right? And feeling like it's trickling or feeling like it's at a standstill. And now you're finally getting that reciprocated energy, that the income coming in. You're stepping into the reality of getting recognition, of getting seen, of getting heard, of your work being seen, of you getting seen by people. And so having the success of all these things that you've been working toward. The Queen, yeah. Yes, exactly. And we have the tear at the bottom. We'll read that one. But the Queen, it talks about learning, and I love how you have the Queen of Wands here. It's like seeing your fullness and your full power, okay? And also seeing in where we were hindering our own progress, or who, how we may have been harming ourselves or in certain ways. The Queen has to learn to rule in a very, loving and fair and honorable way, in a more balanced way. And so we were learning how to be more balanced within self and fair within, I think, our own thoughts of self, and how we treated ourselves and the project and obviously people around us. And so you were put into this time of self-reflection, okay? So that you would come out more fair and honorable and free. Yeah, I'm going to read this out of the book for you. It says, like her counterpart, the king, the queen has a dualistic nature. Either she presides over the realm with grace and eloquence that comes from the heavens to uplift the spirit of others, or she falls into petty, contemptuous moods, casting a shadow across the land. If the king is the ego, the queen is the expression of that ego in the world. She is the lotus's bloom, the dancer's bow, the moon's radiant reflection. When the queen is seated in her rightful and righteous place, she is patient and forgiving. She waits for the grace of God and Goddess to move through her, striving and grasping for nothing. To be the benevolent leader, to embody the queen, is to settle into deep trust, resolve, and power. The royal queen fears nothing, for divinity itself cradles her heart. Exactly. So it's coming out of that feeling of feeling powerless or restricted in some way. And maybe this is within a relationship for some, okay? And it's no longer, it's like seeing our part to play in maybe this role, right? And seeing where we can be more forgiving, where we can be more, righteous in the right way, and loving, right? So I think this has a lot to do with your own thoughts about something, your own beliefs that you've kept about self, and disempowering your own self. And now you're coming into your new reality, which is divine balance, which is seeing that you do deserve the best, that you are this embodiment of divine beauty and grace, okay, that you are creation itself, and that, you really you can't accept less than that, and because you aren't less than that. Okay, which is bringing you into success, which is bringing you into being seen more and being appreciated for who you are more. Okay, so even if let's say you're in a relationship, this might not even be you having to end that, but maybe you weren't being treated in the way that you wished to be, but it was only because you were holding your own beliefs, holding yourself back in a relationship. Okay, and that other person was picking up on that and said, okay, is this how this person wants to be treated, right? This is how they believe about themselves, and this might be happening on an energy level, right? Maybe it's not even said, okay? But whatever time this was of silence or of meditation, of kind of restricted action, let's say, slowness, okay, was here for you to reflect within self, to see, where am I thinking lowly of myself? Where am I holding myself back? Where am I restricting myself and not embodying the fullness, not embodying the queen, being patient, being forgiving with myself, right? Being loving, talking to myself lovingly, treating myself with the utmost respect and love. Therefore, that will get reflected by those around us, and they will start treating us with that same love and respect. Okay, and so now it's like everyone's seeing you. You are glowing in a new way. You are being appreciated and seen in a new way. Okay, in this new reality, which is then creating success in many other areas. Okay, it's like embodying the queen, or it doesn't have to be the queen if you are a male, but it's just that energy. You could be the king, right? But it's like, it is that aspect of feminine, of embodying that love and knowing thyself as love and deserving all of that love. Okay, I'm also going to read the tear for you guys. Okay. When light, melody, melancholy flowing through. When dark, drowning, drama, murkiness. Okay. Says the tear. The morning, the release, the rain. Tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what's needed in order for a conversation or a situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we are reminded of their eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It is likely this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking down into disappointment or despair that once acknowledged will bring a shimmering of clarity to our dewy eyes. It says, in both the tear and the river appear in the reading. Oh, never mind. That doesn't apply. The tear is powerful, and it is possible to be subsumed in its waters. Find a supportive place to open the floodgates. Okay, and so maybe before this total reality shift that you're having, maybe a conversation needs to be had and opening up. Maybe this is just to yourself. A forgiveness, okay, a real big kind of release of emotion, all right? But let's get more information here for you guys. And yeah, and if this is in relationship, I don't see this, whatever this was, I think was internal, and it doesn't have to be, something that ends or is in a bad way. It's like we can open up and we can share and we can do better and we can be better. Yeah, we have awareness with the Magician, and look at that. We have the Star with hope. And sometimes all it takes is some clarity and some tears and some, inner reflection to kind of clear away what was there blocking our path forward. Okay, what was there blocking our success? And again, with recognition, with the Star, okay, it's coming into awareness of our own light and our own power. Okay, and I think that was the major thing that was here for you to do. And so now you're stepping in as the creator of your own world, of the creator of your own reality, of the queen of your own world, where now the energy is cyclical. Okay, it's what I give out, I get back. And now it's in a healthy way, because I have a new awareness of the energy I'm putting out, of the energy I'm keeping within my mind. And so now I use all my experiences and all my tools to create hope, to create light, to create beauty and love in my world, because I embody that, and now I get to exude that and put it out there. And we have 2 cards of recognition here. So you guys might be heading into a reality where you're seen, okay? You're having a big glow up, all right, where you're going to shine very, very brightly, okay? All of this inner work that you've been doing is about to bust out, and you are about to step out of hermit mode and into the light, into maybe the limelight, maybe stardom, maybe being well known for something that you create or that you've overcome, something you embody, okay? It's like whatever was holding you back before, you have been clearing it, or you have cleared it, or you will clear it very soon, okay? It is about to get cleared and start moving forward, okay? Moving into more abundance, moving into more stability, and moving into success and recognition and being seen, okay? Shining brightly, definitely having a big glow up, okay? A big glow up of self. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups with discontentment and boredom. Discontent and boredom. Yeah. And then we have the base chakra and the Fool with new beginnings. So yeah, it was like you had to, there was something here within the root chakra that was being cleared, healed. Also, we have the throat chakra at the bottom. So it had to do with your own self-worth, your own security, your beliefs of maybe lack, your beliefs of unworthiness. There was something here within yourself that was needed to be cleared, okay? And now it's like 1 and 0, 1, 0. We are now walking through into a completely new beginning, a fresh start, okay? Where we are now whole, where we have overcome so much that we are now shining and knowing what we deserve, okay? We are coming out of a time of stagnancy, of boredom, of discontentment with our world, with what's happening, with the progress that we're making, okay? And it's like, and now that we have sat with that, now we have healed the base, okay, the start. Now we have healed the security, the fundamentals, which is maybe our money, our self-worth, okay? It's everything that begins there. And so that was needed to be healed. And so I think you have a lot of questions. Why was I here? Or, when is this going to start moving? And they're just saying we had to make sure this was the base, okay? The base of everything was healed and clear and good and peaceful. And now we can start moving ahead. Now there's going to be a big new beginning, a big leap of faith, because now your awareness is cleared. Now you're ready to create in new ways. Now you're ready for the success and the recognition and the awareness, and the shining, okay? To be seen, to be known, to maybe go travel, to be maybe known around the world in some way or in certain circles, okay? But you're like, where is it? Or where has it been? And it's like, okay, well, now we can start moving. We had to put you into this time of reflection, of maybe isolation, to really make sure that this base was stable and secure and rooted and grounded. And that you weren't, believing that anything was holding you back, or that you weren't holding yourself back anymore. That we had to bring up your esteem, okay, your confidence in who you are, your worth as a person, okay, so that when this came, so that you could shine, so that you could be in the fullness of who you are, so that you could shine as brightly as you truly are, and what you came here to be, and what you deserve to be, okay, that we had to have you in your full brilliance. And so it needed to be completely looked at and cleared. And so the reality you're stepping into is recognition, is being seen, is creating your life in a fresh way, okay, in a brilliant way, where your light is totally shining through. And maybe you're speaking, maybe you're sharing your thoughts, your words, your ideas, okay, expressing yourself, okay? It's maybe coming through, maybe you're a writer or you're a speaker, Maybe you're an artist, but the throat is just creation. It's how you create. It doesn't have to be physically talking, although it could be. Okay, but yeah, they're saying you've been like, where is it? That's why they had to go through all this explanation of why you were there. Okay. Yeah, rest and rejuvenate. You have 444. Okay. You have the Four of Swords twice here. So yeah, they're just, let me get a little more information here. Hold on. Do you have 7, 7, 17, and 4s? Yeah. And then look, we have the 777, 7 at the bottom of the deck. Patience and planning. We had to clear away. We had to put you in this time of rest and rejuvenation where you felt bored because you had to just keep going within. You had to keep healing this base. It took a long time, I feel like. You had to open up and trust, okay? You had to trust. You had to, release the masks, release all of these things that were keeping you from shining, were keeping you from becoming who you truly are. From being maybe your full self, or being comfortable in the fullness of who you are. Maybe you were judging yourself for certain things that were holding you back, but it was really preventing your shine. It was really preventing you from being completely vulnerable in your fullness of self, with all of your maybe mistakes. And these were all going to add to your message. These were all going to add to, what is portrayed. What's really going to make you known. Okay, so you had to trust in what you receive. You had to trust in the higher knowledge and what you get, what you perceive, the channels that come in. So they had to put you in this time for maybe quite a long time. Okay, so that all the masks would melt away. So that all of the, self-deceptions would melt away. All right. So we're going to get you one last message. Ten of Wands. Okay, going into the Ace. So you are ending a cycle of it feeling heavy and harsh and maybe feeling alone. But look, the divine is here. They're like, let's do this together. We can do this. It's not going to feel so heavy anymore. You're not going to feel like you have everything on your shoulders anymore. You're about to start a whole new cycle, okay? A new passionate beginning where things feel lighter and they feel lit up. Like it's clear. My creation is here. I feel like me and the divine are leading the way, and I'm trusting the divine. I'm trusting what I receive, okay? Look at that. 8 of Swords. No longer feeling held back, tied up. Yeah, and now we have a brand new beginning, the Ace of Cups. So we are ending a cycle of feeling held back, feeling stuck, feeling restricted. And now we get a brand new beginning where it feels opened up, where we feel supported by the divine, maybe by a partnership, where we're loving what we're doing. We're loving self. We're speaking to self in the highest of ways. And that brings in higher and better relationships, better connections. And we're actually enjoying everything we're doing, and we're enjoying, showing up every day, and we fill our own cups, and therefore we're shining in a beautiful new way. Okay, so you have this beautiful beginning, maybe in love, maybe it's in something that you do, gaining success and recognition, but it's all stemming from your self-love. Okay, it is all stemming from how you speak and how you think of yourself. Okay. All right, we're going to get one, and look at that. The Ace of Wands. Love that at the bottom of the deck. This is the card right before this. Look, the divine is like, let's go. Let's do this together. You have something beautiful here that you want to create that is going to be so powerful that you hold, and they have your back. They are guiding you. You can trust what you receive, okay? Going forward, this is yours. This is your creation. This is your success you are about to walk into. This is who you are. Okay, so yeah, don't have any fear. Don't let doubt get in the way. the star again. You are about to be known. You are going towards your star, your wish, your dream. Okay, so big shifts. You are entering a time of divine inspiration, of being in that light, of being that light, okay, for other people. You are about to be lit up, okay, and your wish is coming true. You are headed straight into that reality. All right, pile 2. Wow, what a reading, man. That was layered. Please let me know in the comments how this resonated for you. You know what you thought. I'd love to hear from you guys. Yeah, please let me know. And enjoy this new reality that you are shifting into. It is going to be so fulfilling, so loving. You are going to feel so special and so supported by the divine in what you want to create, in your creation. You are going to have recognition for sure. Okay, you are going to shine brightly. So know that about yourself. Know that you deserve this, that you do shine, that you are brilliant. Okay, do not doubt that. So yes, please let me know in the comments. Pile 2, I loved your reading. And if you loved your reading, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another reading. And if you'd like to know more about your own situation, you can book a reading with me, or you can book an energy healing with me. Otherwise, I will see you in the next reading, Pile 2. All of my love. Peace. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. This is the reality that you are stepping into, this reality shift that is occurring for you. All right, so you guys are attracted to the Revolution card. It says transformation, a radical change, give up the old to make way for the new, a quantum leap. And so we see here like the phoenix rising. So I think you are becoming anew, and your life is becoming completely new, where it's like almost like the old is burning up. It's, and not in some kind of scary way, but it's just completely renewal. Okay, so it's like almost like your old self, your old life is being destroyed in order to usher in a completely new beginning, a new life for you. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it. Yeah, literally a quantum leap. This reality shift for you is a quantum leap, and a quantum leap is a huge leap, okay? It's like a new, completely new reality where I don't think anything is going to look the same, be the same, smell the same. It's like you're different and everything around you is shifting as well. Okay, so we have the 7 of Swords. We have prosperity begins with the Ace of Pentacles. Sorry. All right. Wow, okay, so we have hope with the Star. We have material and spiritual prosperity, and which is the 6 of Pentacles. And then we have the 7 of Cups, so choose wisely. Okay. So I think what you're leaving behind, this old life, this old self, is maybe people wearing masks around you, not being truthful, not being completely honest, kind of maybe jealousy, deception, envy. Okay, literally, I was just saying that without even seeing this. But yeah, obviously it's there. So yeah, it's like, it was almost as though the energy is just not lining up anymore. You've become completely new. You're shining on just a new level, and your brilliance is really shining through. You have become anew. We see like light body here, and it's like the old is now burning away. It's now being left behind, and we have to trade it in for now material and spiritual prosperity, because that is how we're shining now. we're now seeing ourselves in the fullness of who we are. And it's like we are the star. We are now embodying the star. We now see ourselves as the star. And so now that that reflection has happened, these things have to melt away, and it's just not, it's not matching up anymore. And so things, people, places are now going to be left behind. We are now making a quantum leap into a new beginning. This could be a new place, a new home, a new job. Okay. And yeah, so they're saying there's like new directions for you to go in. And I think they just want you to be aware and take your time with all of the options that may present themselves to you. Okay. Because there is a very big, prosperous new beginning. And maybe this is like, you know, choose wisely within the place that you choose to go, within the home that you choose, within the career path or the new position in which, you know, you want to head in. Okay. But I really don't feel any kind of concern here. I think to me, this really says, I think your compass is heading you in the right way, that you don't have to choose, you don't have to doubt what you feel or the direction that you feel to go in, even if you don't have a lot of the answers, even if at times it feels a little confusing, like maybe you do have a lot of options, but I think there's one that is really standing out to you, that is really pointing the way forward to the sun, to the light, to the brightness, to the prosperity, okay, to the fullness and to the richness, to something that is going to give to you and grow in a very prosperous and rooted and grounded way. All right, so this reality shift, you are coming into material and spiritual prosperity, where you are shining brightly, where you are becoming anew. And I think where you are headed is, it's closer to the divine, it's closer to God, and it's closer to you. It's a closer resemblance of who you are. It's going to reflect back to you the same light and brilliance that you embody, instead of this kind of mismatch energy where you're kind of here giving this love and light and like, oh, here's my offering, this, you know, here I am. And then it's like people are just kind of trying to cut you down, or they're like, oh, whatever, that's, yeah, it's cool. Or, you know, being fake or being not real with you. Okay, so there is this replacement, and what you're coming into is yeah, it's like you just feeling like completely humbled by the universe of like, wow, I think you're gonna gain so much, not only spiritually but also in abundance, in like finances, and just in comfortability, right? And however that comes through, maybe a new home, a pay upgrade, you know, which then trickles down and allows you to live a more comfortable life. Because I see this person, they have like rings on and gold. They're very like dressed fancy. And I mean, look at this house, right? It's got a huge fountain. It's like there's going to be such an upgrade to your physical world, because your inner world is such a beautiful, beautiful place. Your soul is so bright, right? And your love is so deep. And so it's just going to reflect in that way on your outer world. But it's going to humble you in such a way where this is not going to don't let it get to your head. Okay, stay humble and stay grateful, and just keep that attitude that you have kept through everything. Okay, and I think maybe that's the choose wisely here, is always look to the light, always remember love, always do the right thing, you know, for yourself and others. Always make sure that you're watering in the right way, that you allow this prosperity to keep growing, to keep fruiting, right? Because we can neglect the tree and it will start to rot or get sick, right? So we have to keep the maintenance of spiritually of ourselves, of our aura, of our spirit, right? Of the depth of self. And that will allow this all to work in tandem and work beautifully. Okay, and keep giving. Yeah. We can't just get too lost in one. But yeah, you are coming into, your reality is completely shifting. And that's why I'm like so kind of, I know you feel this because you've completely changed. Like, you really are about to fly. You really are so stunning. Like, you're such a light. You're such a star. You might even start gaining recognition within work, and that's why you start growing in such a big way that it really provides for you monetarily and in abundance. Okay. And I think you're really going to fly above, even if people are envious of your success or of who you are, of the light. That's totally normal to have happen. Okay, but you could just fly above it all. You really don't have to allow it to hinder you. Okay, or don't, yeah, always choose the highest road. Always choose the light. Don't ever, kind of dip in to kind of tell these people off. Just fly above it all. Okay. The Lovers. Beautiful. Okay, new choices. This is the choose wisely. Always choose love. Okay, always choose, even if, you start gaining a lot within your work, within, your monetarily, okay, you start gaining more success, and which you will, okay? So they're just saying to always choose love before anything else, and always make sure that your connections are healthy and that your connection with yourself is healthy, that your relationships around you are, everyone feels loved and taken care of, and you don't, make sure there's that balance where, yeah, you're not all work and no play, or you're not all material and no spiritual. Okay, we need the balance of it all. Okay, the Ten of Wands, ending a cycle of difficulty, of heaviness, taking on others' problems, feeling, the heaviness of the physical world, feeling the burdens of maybe feeling overworked, overburdened. Two of Swords. Yeah, Six of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, and maybe if some of you are in, or maybe have yet to be in a certain connection, it is time for this connection to come closer, okay, to come into a new level of closeness, of love, or it's time for you to come into, like, this prosperity, and this new beginning will also bring about a divine counterpart, okay, for you. Things are not going to feel so much on your shoulders anymore. Things are going to start feeling more reciprocal and more fair and even. So that could be in relationship, right? Where it's like we both feel like we put in the same amount of effort. No one feels like I'm doing all the work or you're not, or whatever. And if this is like just in general, in the energy or in work, right? It's like I'm feeling like so burdened with having to always work so hard, having to always put in so much effort with maybe very little appreciation or reward on the other side, monetarily, financially. Finally feeling like the work I put in, I'm getting back in equal and greater amounts. Okay, so I don't have to work so hard. This is like working less for a bigger return. Okay, not feeling like the heaviness of life is always pouring down on us, and maybe the burdens of other people were put on us. Okay, I think so. This reality that is happening. So these are kind of the details here that's happening. So basically, this is saying that you will know the answers. You will not be in this kind of in-between state very, very long. Okay, you will have the clarity, because right now it seems like maybe you don't have the clarity of the actions to take going forward, or when to take them, or when this is actually happening. But they're saying you will know when you know. The blindfold will get taken off. The indecision will not be there, and you will have divine inspiration, clarity, to know exactly what actions to take, to know exactly where you're headed next, to know exactly the choices are going to present themselves to you. And so you're going to have the divine knowing of now is the time, this is the action, this is the choice, this is the direction. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune is saying, yes, it is your time to shift. It is your time to shift, to make this new choice, okay, to go into this more fair, equal, and oh, you have the Six of Pentacles twice. It's here twice. Okay, so this is saying material and spiritual prosperity times two. Okay, it is doubling down on that message. It is saying this is how much, you put in spiritually, this is how much you get out materially. It's like it feeds each other. It's this reciprocal thing. So this is keeping that balance of spiritual and financial and material. Okay, so not letting one dominate or get unbalanced, allowing it to all feed each other. And so keeping that maintenance, keeping it going. Don't ever take on too much work so that one gets too out of whack. Okay. It's like we still have to do all of the things that brought us here, but just maintenance, really. It's like we don't have to, now the hardest part is over. Now all the heavy lifting is over, and now it's just maintaining the energy, the flow. Okay, so all we have to do going forward is maintain the flow of balancing the spiritual with the material. Wow, you have the Wheel of Fortune twice. Holy smokes. So yeah, it's your time. It's a huge, huge shift in your life. Okay, this is a big, big, big shift out of a time of deception, envy, overburdened, feeling the world on your shoulders, feeling the heaviness, feeling, maybe burdened with financial problems, or, lacking in connection, whatever it was. Now it's feeling so much easier to have, to hold, to maintain. My energy, I give to another. It gives back right exactly as I gave it, right? It's like I never feel like I'm doing all of the work anymore. I don't feel like I'm having to put in so many hours for so little kickback. Okay, it's like it's just everything is ease. Everything is easier. It's now time for me to come into the fullness of experience, a prosperity shift. Time for me to come into my prosperity. Wow, you have the Lovers twice. Holy crap. And you have the Hierophant. Wow. So, yeah, it's time for divine balance. It's time for equality. It's time for balance within self. And this is the reality we're stepping into, is complete just divine union within self, within the choices we make, within the partnerships and the connections that we make. Okay, it feeling super, super equal, that we're both showing up, we're both coming, and none of us feel left out. No one feels like unheard or unlistened to or taken advantage of. It's just pureness. And maybe, we do find or have that soulmate energy. And whatever's happening now, it's like whatever's coming in is making it easier for us to feel both heard and loved in an equal way. So if that's, more prosperity coming into our lives, we're able to give each other love from a real place, because we don't feel overburdened by life anymore. Everything's feeling a little bit more, even keeled and nice and easier, and we're actually gaining instead of, losing, or instead of having to work so hard for very little, right? It's like we're gaining so much more, and so we're able to have time to give to the other and to make each other feel special and just heard and present. Being present with each other. Okay, and I feel like you're coming closer to the divine. You're coming closer to your own spirituality and your own higher self. And I think you're seeing yourself and other in a much higher way. And like I said, right, coming closer to divine with this prosperity. It's like you're going to be able to have the more time to spend within prayer, within meditation, focused on the inner self, focused on the higher self, focus on the higher values of life, there's going to be more God throughout your life, more divine light that now seeps into everything you do, that now seeps into every thought, that now seeps into your relationships, okay, that now seeps into your career. It's like everything is done with the highest of intention and with the highest good, first and foremost. Okay, every action is come through the Most High. Okay, where it's no longer coming through just instinctual or guttural or animalistic senses. Or desperation, or I need to do this to get ahead. It's now coming through such a peaceful place that it's like, this is the highest version of this. This is the highest choice. This is the highest decision I can make, because now it's this thing that feels easy, and I don't feel like I'm coming out of desperation, that I can come from the higher instead of the lower. I can make it come through from, top down, from the crown down, right? And it's like, and it's this lotus, it's this thing where it's like, it's coming from divine channel instead of desperation or hunger or impulsiveness. It's now coming from calm, from peace, from love, from I have everything I need, from what's best for everyone involved, what's best for my family, what's best for the highest good of all. Okay, that's where your decisions will be made going forward. Wow. Wow. That is awesome. Beautiful. Okay. All right, so we have the Queen, but I don't think that's everything. Yes. The Nectar. Beautiful. There might be a message in pile 2 for you, because they also got the Queen, and they got a couple cards they also got the Star here, and the 7 of Swords. Wow, look at that. You have the Queen and the King at the bottom. Amazing. So yes, there is divine partnership, whether you're in that already or not, but you are meant to share this with someone, okay? And it's becoming that benevolent, patient, kind, forgiving leader, okay, in both these. And you guys are going to be very, very complementary to each other. And now you get to enjoy the nectar of that fullness of your love, okay, the fullness of life. It's like, it's truly embodying the love, the life, the sweetness that is there for us to gain, to give, okay, to each other, because you guys are going to start embodying your highest selves, okay, the highest version of who you are as leaders, okay, as spiritual beings. And so you're going to be able to give nectar and to act from nectar, to act from the sweetest places, to act from the place of peace and of true divine love, okay, so that we are receiving the nectar and therefore can give the nectar, okay, that we don't feel like we're reaching anymore. We don't feel like we're hungry for anything, or we're striving. It's now we're here, and we have, and we are, and so we can give, right? We can give easier and freer to each other, and which creates a beautiful environment, because when we don't have this spiritual prosperity and this monetary prosperity, we can, come from a desperate place, or from a place of distortion, from a place of, oh, I don't have and I have to get, right? And so that will maybe create a unfair ruler, right? Someone who isn't balanced within the spiritual and the material, which then, creates for tyranny, or abuse, or neglect, right? And so it's like really coming into the divine self, the divine balance of self and other, and we both get to now lead as our highest selves. We now get the nectar that is there for us to receive within ourselves and on the outer world, and therefore that allows us to treat self, come from the highest place, literally come from the sweetest place. Wow. Wow. That's truly, truly beautiful. you guys are walking into such a beautiful, sweet, it's just like, it's going to be your new life. It's just life. It's just everything. It's going to seep into everything, and it's going to be your new regular life, where it's like, it's just up leveling to a sweetness that you've never experienced. It's not going to be heavy anymore. Everything's going to be easier. Your prosperity is coming to you easier. Love is coming to you easier. Experience is just, everything's going to have an extra bit of love and sweetness and closeness, and cherish it, and just, yeah, just be in it and just enjoy the bliss, enjoy the newness of this, you know, up level of reality for you, where everything's a little bit sweeter and more delicious and loving and nice. Yeah, that is your reading, pile 3. What a beautiful, beautiful reality you're about to step into. I absolutely love this. Yeah, it's good. Please let me know in the comments if this resonated with you, if you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another reading. And if you'd like to know more about your own situation, you can book a personal reading with me down in the description box. You can also book a healing, energy healing session with me as well. So yeah, other than that, I will see you in the next reading, pile 3. All of my love. Peace. Hello, pile 4. Excuse me, sorry. Welcome to your reading. This is all about your reality shift, your reality shifting, and we're going to take a look at that for you, what it's all about. So you guys were attracted to the taming power of the small, self-restraint, self-sufficiency, careful preparations, resourcefulness, minor impediments, adaptability. So I feel like you've been being prepared for this energy shift for a long time. Okay, we see the web being built here, and how many times over and over again, you know, we've had to look at the patterns, create the patterns, you know, over and over again. We've had to look and clear and you know, do things to make it, to make this thing great, or to make it everything we wanted. I think you've learned great self-restraint, self-sufficiency, how to rely on yourself, how to, you know, maybe be self-made, how to create something exactly as you wanted. And that takes practice and trial and error and trying again. And that's been building this huge new web that you're about to step into, this new reality that you are now ready to step into and to have in your life. Okay, I think this reminds me of like very much 6th house Virgo energy. It's like the self-discipline. It's the showing up every single day. It's the small details, all these small details that go into creating a larger picture, creating the reality that we wish to see. And that starts within ourselves, right? So it's like our health. We had to make sure our health was in good shape. And that then, you know, domino effects into other areas of life, where now we're feeling good, so we're treating ourselves better, and our work becomes better. It was like all of these things that went into creating this. All right. Let's start with the movie tarot. Pile 4, this reality shift for pile 4. What do they need to know? What do they need to know? Death. Wow. Three of Swords. Wow. Four of Swords and the Eight of Cups. I think you've shown yourself who you truly are by everything that you've had to face. It's like you have really overcome so many things, and you have transformed again and again. You have really, you know, healed, and you have taken, even if, like, I think even if you're just, you know, one person, you know, but you've overcome monstrous, mountainous things within your experience, within your life, within yourself. Okay. And it's like, even though you're just one person, or you could say it says the small, right? Even if you're just a small person, you're not small. But I'm just saying, it's that vision of like, it's almost like the underdog, or it's the, you know, it's the almost like an impossible mission, but it was like you had to overcome so many things that should have been able to take you out, that should have been able to stop you in your tracks, and not, you know, not been able to make it to this point, if that makes sense. Okay. But it's like you have overcame so much. You have transformed, you know, your whole life, over and over again, or yourself over and over again. And you have, you know, showed up every day. You have changed. You have changed your life from the inside out, maybe through your habits, through things that you've changed about yourself that, you know, may have been unhealthy, may have been, you know, things that other people have given to you or done to you. And you're like, okay, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to use that to create something for myself. I'm going to use that to make myself better. I'm going to use that as fuel to transform myself, my situation going forward. And so now this is saying you're about to step into it's like you're stepping out of, it has made you super adaptable. It has made you so self-reliant, but also so skillful and resourceful. Okay, so it's given you tools that are extremely important and extremely useful to you going forward. And with the Four of Swords and the Eight of Cups, I see you moving out of a time of stillness or stagnancy, a time of a lot of self-reflection, obviously a time of great healing and transformation. So you're coming out of this time where you've been put into a place to really self-reflect, to heal, okay, to heal from all of these things. So now you're about to leave this behind. So you're leaving this into a new reality, okay? And so what reality is that? We are going to see. What reality is pile 4? Are we taking this one? No. Is pile 4. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we have the womb that wanted to come out. We have the flame, and we have the pilgrim. Wow. Wow. I feel like this is really intense. I don't know all of these cards. I just got this deck, so we're going to learn together. I will read them, but I'll tell you what I'm picking up. The flame and the pilgrim, I mean, wow. It's like you're stepping into a whole new reality where you're going on like a pilgrimage, a spiritual pilgrimage. It's like you're coming out of the womb, okay? You're coming out of a time of transformation, of gestation, where we heal, where we rest, where we grow, where we learn. You know, it's this time where we're growing. All of the pieces are being put together of who we are, of who we're becoming, so that we can start on this path, which is what you are stepping into now, which is a great spiritual pilgrimage for yourself of enlightenment, okay? It's like, I think you're rising here. There's something rising. There's something being lit up. There's like a new purpose or a new literal adventure, a pilgrimage that you're about to step upon to learn deeper, to spiritually deepen. That is going to make you even more connected with self. That is going to get you in touch with the Most High, with the divine. Okay, I'm going to read these. The flame, the fire, the spark, the glimmer. In Sanskrit, the word for fire is Agni. The ancient yogis saw this flame at the center of the abdomen, the womb, okay, believed it to be responsible for our vitality. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and sense that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred around them have let their inner flame go out. This think of this card as a call to reignite that fire, to cup your hands gently around those things you've forgotten and protect the flame. No matter how harshly the winds around you blow, it can be an inner archetype that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet, the mystic, or the shaman would call to you with the language of the flame. And look, you're going on a pilgrimage. You are like being born new, okay? Born into a new life, into a new reality as new, transformed, so that you can maybe become a shaman, or you're going to get in touch with maybe a mentor or someone to show you. It's like you are going on some kind of spiritual pilgrimage. Yes, you are leaving something of the old behind to almost open the doors to a new adventure that is going to bring you closer to your own mysticism, to your own enlightenment, to your own, flame. Wow. Okay, it says the pilgrim learns, grows, adapts, studies. The wanderer, the traveler, the apprentice. For the pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the farthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of the spirit. Others will wonder when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life, but the pilgrim knows the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep, and soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day. Yet when this archetype awakens, it rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door toward a new reality. Wow. With the pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon. Your spirit needs it. Wow. So you guys might even be heading on a new trip, on a new adventure, physically somewhere else in the world. Okay, but there is definitely everything that you've been working towards, waiting for, leading up to. You've been in the womb, you've been transforming, you've been healing. Okay, now there is a flame about to be lit within you. Okay, within this new reality that you're shifting into, that's going to make you go forward, leave something behind, and go on a pilgrimage. You are about to travel. You are about to expand yourself, expand your mind, expand your knowledge, expand spiritually in who you are, and grow deeper within that purpose, within that meaning of why you're here, of what you're here to be and to achieve and to help and to serve. Okay, so you are coming into divine contact with your higher realms, with your higher purpose. Okay, you are heading on a very, very highly spiritually guided adventure here, where you're going to meet, maybe people that are going to help you out, or you are going to have experiences that are going to lead you into what your purpose is. We got the Hierophant that flipped out. Exactly. A lot of you are about to step into becoming a mystic or spiritual teacher, or you're about to start the training, okay, that is going to lead you to this path, okay? But yeah, this might be you going on your pilgrimage to find some kind of deity or some kind of teacher, shaman that will help guide you further along, okay, to eventually become your own guide, shaman, teacher. All right, wow. But look, the flame, it is being ignited. You are about to be lifted, okay? You are about to head down this path. Ace of Wands. Yeah, Six of Swords. You got the Three of Swords twice. That's significant. And we have the Knight of Cups. Yeah. You are going to take all of the experiences that have been given to you, and I say given, okay, blessed upon you, okay, as hard as they were, as difficult as they were, as crap and shit, and just traumatic as they may have been, as much as they may have hurt you, whatever experiences that you were given, okay, these are the experiences that are going to help you become a leader, a shaman, a teacher. Okay, these are the lessons, the messages that you're going to share, you are going to help guide others. Right now, you are about to be guided to that path with help from the divine, with maybe, meeting a teacher. You are traveling somewhere to start this path so that eventually you are the one who guides and helps others across their own harm, hurt, difficulty. Okay, you are a messenger of love. You are a knight of, chivalry and honor. You are here to help serve within the heart space. You are here to help clear and heal the heart space of others. Okay, this is your new beginning. This is your victory. You are having victory over your own harm, over your own lessons. You have really taken the value that was there for you, and you are receiving higher guidance. You have a wisdom that is meant to be shared. And so this next part of your journey is you going on a pilgrimage. It's you going somewhere, traveling, going somewhere that is going to help you evolve and become and learn, so that you can become this great teacher, healer, mystic, shaman, whatever way in which you do that. You might not know at this time, and that's perfectly okay. You will find out as you go. Okay, this is the new reality you are shifting into, where you are going to be the one who receives divine guidance, who has been given all of these experiences so that you may share, so that you may help others who have also had difficulty, or who need help with healing, who need someone to be there, who need, a helping hand. Because you've had these experiences, you can be the one to do this. Okay. And that because you have disciplined yourself, you have shown up every day for yourself, you have transformed, you are not afraid of death. You have had many ego deaths. You have had many rounds in the karmic wheel. Okay, and now this time is your time to come out of your own karmic wheel. It's to rise above it, and it's to become on the adventure and the pilgrimage, the journey into becoming a guide here on earth, to becoming a teacher, to becoming someone that others look to for guidance, for help, for knowledge, for your wisdom. Six of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Yes, look at you. You are taking your love, your experiences, your intuition, okay, your spiritual gifts, and just your heart. Your heart is a pure and honest and pure reflection of who you are and of divine love. And you can help those around you. You can help younger people. You can help people who are also seeking, and you can give them that cup. You can share that cup with them in whatever way you do that. Okay, so you are about to go on a pilgrimage where you are learning how to become or step into these shoes of a divine teacher, guide, for others. You are going to help others by sharing your heart, by sharing your experience, by listening, by healing, by helping, by giving a helping hand. Okay, you are here. I'm here to serve. Okay, I'm here to serve the divine through my own wisdom, through my own accumulation, through the disciplines that I have learned, through my self-reliance, through my resourcefulness that I have, accumulated over the years, that I have sat with again and again and again, with all of my experience this lifetime and the past lifetimes. And now I have this offering to give. And now I have this love. I have this cup that I can offer others, that can help guide others, that they can feel seen and heard. That's beautiful. So this journey for you starts with a pilgrimage, starts with traveling somewhere, starts with heading somewhere, starting something new. It's going to be different in whatever way this this resonates or this manifests for all of you. So let me know in the comments what this is. Where are you going? You know, how is this starting for you? What's your pilgrimage looking like? Okay, it's going to be different for everyone, but it's definitely it's definitely a travel. It's definitely like going somewhere else. Okay, Page of Cups, Knight, Queen, Page, Nine of Cups. Yeah, you are heading into something new where you're starting as a student. Okay, you're starting in as a student with your heart full. You're ready to learn. You're like, okay, I'm so ready for this. This is something I've been wanting to begin for a long time. You're going to be learning a lot. Keep your heart open, keep your mind open. This is something that's going to make you feel super, super fulfilled. Okay, this is a dream, a wish coming true for you. This is you stepping into something that's going to make your heart, your soul feel fulfilled, okay, in your purpose, in your higher path, why you came here, okay, so that you can become this person, so that you can offer this wisdom and this knowledge. Queen of Cups twice, guys. You are such a a beautiful soul and a beautiful heart, and you have so much to give. Okay, you have so much healing power to bestow upon others. You are now beginning this adventure into stepping into this motherly figure or this fatherly figure in which you are this patient, loving, healing presence for others, where your presence alone is healing. Okay, where you can help those around you. Maybe it's younger people, maybe it's kids. It doesn't have to be, but it could just be, you know, people just starting out on the path. Okay, it's like your heart speaks directly to the inner child of whoever you work with, whoever comes in contact with you. They feel safe, they feel heard, they feel loved. Okay, I feel like I can open up to you. I feel like I can tell you about me and not feel judged. I feel like you love unconditionally, because you do. Okay, because you do. Because your heart is open, and you're here, and you're you know, willing to love regardless of what it is, because of all of your experiences, because of how much you sat with your own things and you were able to witness them all, okay, without judgment. Queen of Pentacles. This is going to help you embody your highest, most divine self, okay, your worth. It's going to give you a lot of prosperity in your life. It's going to help you blossom and bloom into who you're meant to be, okay, and step into your power, step into your abundance, step into your prosperity as a soul. Okay, so not even just monetarily, but this is going to make you feel purposeful every single day. Like, this is exactly what I came here to do. I'm fulfilling God's divine purpose for me. My divine purpose for myself. Yeah, the High Priestess. You are so divine. You are so wise. You are now about to step into the reality in which this becomes your embodiment. Okay, where you do not doubt what you receive. You do not doubt your gifts, your healing and spiritual and psychic abilities. It helps others. Guide. You are going to be a guide in one way or another. Okay, you are deepening into your spiritual path. You are becoming a spiritual dynamo. Okay, someone extremely powerful, someone that others can come to for your guidance, for your divine light. Okay, you are going to be definitely a priestess or a priest. Okay, a conduit and a channel of divine light and love that is going to be such a gift to anyone who comes in contact with you. It's like you are going to receive so that you can give. You are just this open channel of light. You are just going to be able to give freely because you receive so much. Okay. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. We're going to get you guys one last message. This reality, you just, this is the culmination of all of your lifetimes of coming to earth, and of all of the transformations, and of all of the, the karmic cycles and patterns and pain that was basically given to you in these lifetimes that you have done over and over again. You have now healed it, and now you're ready to be a guide for all of God's children, for all of us here on earth. Okay, so that you've now overcome, you've now cleared the karmic path. You're now ready to step into teacher, healer, mystic, shaman. Okay, Four of Swords with postponement. We have the Two of Swords with schizophrenia, and we have the Four of Wands with participation. So coming out of a time of stagnancy, of feeling maybe disconnected from the world, or feeling in between two worlds, like confusion, not having clarity, feeling a little bit meh, gray, not feeling like I'm in the fullness of who I am. I'm feeling like I'm watching the world from a distance. And now I'm in full participation. So you are entering a reality of your life, of who you are, that is in full participation, full color, full view, fully in it, of your purpose, of your path, of who you are, of your divine light, of your divine purpose. Okay, you are stepping into it all, and it's going to be so clear, and you're going to feel so free and so stable in who you are and why you're here. Okay, that's going to be clear as day to you. You're not going to be able to doubt it. It's here. It's in my reality. It's my path walking forward. And you're going to be connected with many, many people who are similar to you or doing similar things. And your paths are going to be connected. You guys are going to help each other go through it all, help each other guide each other, so that you always feel supported, so that you don't feel alone on this path. Okay, so you're going to have connections that you can always turn to for advice, for anything you need, because this path is not, it's not an easy path, but it is the most fulfilling and rewarding path. Okay, so it's not, the difficulty is not going to stay for you. It's only, you're helping other people clear their heaviness, but you can come from a very centered, light point of view. Okay, and you're going to have those around you who are going to help support you through that, because they're also doing it. They've been in it or been doing it. Okay, so like mentorship and just support is going to be there for you throughout these throughout this time, throughout this new space in your life and time in your life. Okay, so have no fear. You are going to be well supported. You are going to feel the fullness of self and who you are and why you're here. And you're never going to feel this kind of distance, unsureness in between time anymore. It is, I know it. I know why I'm here. I know what I have to do. Life is going to feel full of color and vibrancy and love and connection and beauty. Yeah. That's amazing. Beautiful, beautiful reading, pile 4. Holy smokes. You are walking into one of the highest paths that is available on earth. It is just, you have really accumulated all the experience and all of the wisdom and knowledge of self, of God, of this experience, and now you get to pass that along. Now you get to help guide others, and what an honor that is. What a dream. So just enjoy it. Just bask in it, and just know that you are ready, that you can do this, that you will learn as you go, and to take this leap, to go towards the future with full trust in where you're being led. Okay, because the divine is leading you to this pilgrimage for a great, great purpose. Okay, pile 4. So thank you so much for coming to reading today. If this reading resonated, please let me know in the comments, and also please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And please subscribe so you don't miss another reading like this. And if you'd like to know more about your own situation, you can book a personal reading with me or an energy healing with me down in the description box below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next reading, pile 4. All of my love. Peace.